Ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is. Hip Hop Mike live from the crib with a special guest who's probably my favorite guest of all time. I mean, she cool as hell, going crazy on TikTok, and has been a friend for a minute. Kayla Thayla is live from her bedroom.
The freshly made bed.
It looks pretty luxurious. It looks like y'all done messed that shit up a little bit, but I respect the effort.
Literally just a little.
The good thing you're on TikTok and not in the army because they don't play that shit. What's poppin', homie?
What's good? What's up? What's new?
Looks like you got a chilly day in Florida. You got the sweater on and stuff.
Oh no, this is how we rock in Florida. It gets like 83 and then we start wearing hoodies.
It's crazy. So, I mean, people that ain't familiar, I figure we would do this just so they could kind of become aware, because through knowing you for a minute now, I know that you're not just some TikTok influencer, but you also is funny as hell. You ill with the promo. Like anytime I've sent you anything to promote, you go crazy, which is like marketing genius at your age is different. Not to mention you celebrating a birthday this week, and I know you want to get into the acting, all that, which we'll talk about. But for people who don't know Kayla Thayla, where did this begin for you? I mean, I know you from Florida, but how did you get started in this shit?
All right, so to go to honestly, the craziest thing is that I've really only been doing this for like a little bit over a year now, like taking it serious. So like that's what blows my mind completely. Because I'm like, if I could do all this in a year and every single month I'm learning so much more, like where will I be like 2000, like the end of 2020? Like, you know, where will I be in 2021? You know, like so it really blows my mind. But basically, my Instagram got hacked and it was like I didn't really treat it like anything anyways. Like I wasn't on like no next level. I was just an ordinary high schooler and it got hacked. I was like, you know what? I don't really need Instagram. Like, what do I do on it anyways? And my boyfriend was like, no, like let's get you popping on Instagram. Like let's redo it and revamp you completely. And I was like, why not? I'm just gonna go with the flow. So we did that, and it's funny because this is like you're like getting like the inside scoop of it, but I don't think you can find this song anywhere. But he does music, and we made a song together called Thayla, and then it was a remix to Blueface, and it was called, and we went like busted down Thayla, and then that's when I changed my name to Kayla Thayla. And then the song like kind of, it didn't really honestly blow up, but it gave me like a lot of exposure because people saw me and like I was just making like cool videos to it. Like I was in the studio with it. Like there's like one video I'm holding a cat with it, and like pages were like reposting me and stuff. And then I ended up meeting Blueface, and then like it was just like a bunch of like staircases that kind of just like got me to like my first like 10K very easily. And then from that, I jumped on TikTok. And then before you know it, I was this Florida girl because I blew up off of making this How to Speak in Florida video. And now I'm just kind of going with the flow and like, you know.
All right, so you gotta take it back a little bit. What was you doing before all of this? You was just in school. You didn't have like a job or nothing.
My first job was I was the Foot Locker girl in my city. I was known as I worked at Foot Locker. I've kind of always like been into like things that are like more hip. So, that was like oh my gosh. I started working when I was 15. I got my first job at Panera, and literally from being 15 to like 17, I think I had like 12 jobs. Like, I was always like, you know what? I had too much of an attitude, and I was like, so it'd be like one job, okay, I don't like how she treated me next, or I would always get fired from that.
Damn. Did you want to be like an entertainer while you was working these jobs? Was you at Foot Locker like, I'm gonna be lit one day and y'all gonna regret this shit?
Honestly, no. Like it just kind of happened. Like that's crazy to think. Like I always had like a little thing in me. I was always like a creative person. Like I knew whatever I wanted to do in life wasn't going to be a 9 to 5. Like I was like, oh, I'm gonna blow up on photography, and I always wanted to be a business owner. And then I was like, oh, I love beauty. Like I used to be like that 15-year-old that my dad was dropping me off at people's houses, and I was passing out business cards, doing people's like makeup for prom and stuff like that. Like I've kind of always had a hustle mentality, but like social media was like not really in mind. I was more like, I'm gonna own a business, I'm gonna do that. And like still to this day, I do nails. I love doing nails, and I have my nail license. So I actually like any money that like I get from like you know, social media and what I do, I want to flip it, and eventually I want to like own salons and like own products and like actually sell things and like own something, you know, and like create an income off of that, because social media isn't going to be forever, you know.
Nah, that's a fact. I mean, social media comes and goes, but I think with what you're doing, you build it out in a lot of different ways. And I
Yeah,
mean,
that's what you have to do.
facts. I mean, we spoke about you getting into the acting and all that, but like coming out of high school, was you planning on going to college, or was it like, I'm gonna get this nail business popping? What was your thoughts like before things really started taking off?
Um, I I never like really thought of college. Like I said, I always kind of want to do like beauty or like things like that, like photography and stuff. And I actually got accepted. I was like really smart in high school. Well, I cheated my way through it.
I was around really smart people in high school.
Exactly. I was the one that took pictures of the really smart people, but I was like in dual enrollment and stuff, and I got a scholarship to go to FIU. So
Oh.
I was actually gonna go to FIU down in Miami and study psychology. I'm like 3 classes away from my AA degree, but I never ended up like taking those 3 classes. But it just doesn't interest me anymore, and it's not even because of social media. I think it's because like I was kind of trying to pursue like my parents' dreams and not my own dreams. So I'm just kind of like doing what I want to do now.
Do you remember the day that the Flawda video took off and things went crazy? Like, do you remember shooting the video?
Yes, I remember that whole entire day very vividly, because it was a day where me and my boyfriend got in like this huge argument. I was like so pissed off. So to get over the argument, I was just like, because I'm not the type of person, like when I'm like feeling a certain type of way, I cannot be by myself, because like I'll just start like thinking and going crazy. So I was like hitting up everyone. I was like, do you want to hang out today? Do you want to hang out today? Like I hung out with like 5 people in like the matter of like 3 hours, just to get my mind off of like how mad I was. And then I remember I hung out with my friend Chelsea, and then afterwards I was like, I can't go home, like I'm gonna be too mad. So I actually stopped in the racetrack gas station, and I was just on TikTok, and then I actually got that idea from Twitter, because there was like a Twitter thing, and it was like Florida lingo hits different, and like they spelled Florida like Flawda. I was like, how could I put that into a TikTok? And I was like, okay, I'm gonna just do like a bunch of like Florida lingo, because like there's like so many different types. And then I made that, and then I remember because he was mad at me too, and then I was like, guess what? Like I think I'm blowing up. I think I'm going viral. And then he was just like, yeah, because he was mad at me. And then but like the next day we were good. But
Man,
I
yeah.
remember that day so vividly just because of that.
He came back the next day like, you see, babe, I told you was gonna go viral.
No, every single time he tries to, because my boyfriend, like, I'm not gonna lie, he plays a humongous role, like, in everything that I do, because he's a very good, like, he plays almost like this manager role too. Like, he's able to get me bookings, he's able to communicate to people, he's able to do, like, things that I suck at. And so I appreciate him like tremendously for that. But like we always like we have like little battles and with each other where we're like, see, this is what I did, and he's like, okay, well look at what I did. And then, like I always tell him, like when he's like, look, I created all these videos that blew up, I'm like, I started it, like I did the Florida video.
Nah, that's hella funny because y'all compliment each other well, and it's like both of y'all could really say you started it, because if he didn't get you on that gram running it up, who's to say? So
Exactly.
well.
No, I always give him his credit. I give him his credit all the time because he does a really good job of what he does. Because like I said, the things he does, oh my gosh, his brain works like in the most weirdest ways, but like it's good.
So at what point does this Florida video, where does it leave you now? You get 1 million views off this? Does like the following go up? How does that kind of propel what's about to happen after that? Because I know every video you post now is slapping.
I just kind of like when the Florida video came, I just kind of like I pushed it, you know. I was like, okay, this is what they like to see, so I'm gonna push Florida content. So every single video was like Florida themed, and then like I kind of like got in my head a little bit. I'm still kind of like in this like messed up frame where I'm like, people don't like me for what I'm doing. Like people are like hating on me. People are always like, Florida doesn't claim you. Like, oh my gosh, all this girl does is talk about Florida. So I was like, okay, let me try to like rebrand myself. So and then like I kind of went into like this dancing stage thing, but then like my views dropped like tremendously. So I was like, what do you guys want from me? Like I only get views when I post about Florida. And then like, so I just kind of go with the flow. They love seeing me and Matt together. Like we always do like little pranks and stuff, which I think always do good. I think now I'm kind of like at a point where it's like I could kind of post like anything and it does good because now I actually have like fans and like loyal people who follow me because they like me. So now I'm kind of like I'm good now.
Sit on the up and up.
Yeah.
I know that you say you was into like trying to open up salons and you wanted to do things on a business side, but as a creative, you definitely mentioned to me like off the record about wanting to get into acting, comedy, and things like that. What's your vision for that? Like, how far into the acting do you want to go? Like,
I just I just want to like I want to branch off like any way that I can, you know. So it's like if a modeling company hits me up, it's like okay, well I could do that, you know. Like I do that every single not like you know on a modeling page, but like we take pictures every single day, you know. Like I have photographers that like I have lined up that take pictures of me every day, you know. So it's like yeah, I could definitely do that. And like acting is just like something that I don't know. Like when I think acting, I don't like one time the Wild and Out show hit me up, but I was too young at the time to go on it. But it's like that just seems like a perfect route because it's like something where you can like, you know, portray your personality, show who you are, and then it's like have fun with it. And you're also, you know, going more on the acting side of things. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how far I would take it. I need the opportunity first.
I could see somebody definitely pitching you and Matt on a reality show because
A reality
not a
show.
better couple for that, in my opinion.
That'd be funny, a reality show. That'd be like the funniest route to go.
So how does Matt deal now? Because I know you have a bigger following at this point. He's kind of sparked, like he opened Pandora's box by getting you all this attention. How does he deal with like people trying to talk to you or guys that might not be aware of the relationship? Is he cool with it? And how do you deal with him now? Because I know he's a handsome guy too. And I'm sure girls is on his DMs with him getting following. How
Uh,
y'all find balance and make it work?
but of course, like me being his girl, I'm always gonna be like, there's girls hitting you up, you know, because it's like that psychopath like mindset that I have. But
Y'all
he always,
kill people in Florida.
but he always tells me he's like, do you really think people are gonna hit me up like when you're my girlfriend? Like, do you really think they're even gonna try? Like, you have following, like you're gorgeous, like so. I listen to that, but then I'm like in my head like a little bit, you know, like no, people definitely like are gonna try to get in the middle of us. But as far as like with me, I think that we have a very strong relationship. Like the relationship that we hold is like I don't think I could ever recreate that. And I tell him that all the time. Because just like with us being like it takes a lot to be able to handle like a business and a relationship at the same time. And we found like the perfect balance and everything. Our communication is like so great. Like I could trust that man with like anything. Like I literally go gossiping to him all the time. And so I think with that trust, like he's able to, you know, feel comfortable whenever I do things. Like there's times when like I'll go to a collab and it's just like me and that person. And, you know, he just trusts that like I'm doing business, you know? So it's definitely just good communication and trust. Of course, there's gonna be like little times when he's like, no. And I just kind of have to be understanding, you know, like, okay, let me put myself in his shoes, you know, like if he was going to meet up with some girl for a collab, like I would be like, no. So I
Be
just
like,
have
I'm
to be
coming.
understanding. Yeah.
How does the family feel about it? And like, I guess people that you was in high school with, because I know you still very young, you got a birthday coming, but do people now try and like jump on the wave that wasn't around before? And does your family understand how poppin' you are?
um my family did not believe, like I would always tell them, I'd be like, Dad, I have, like I remember when I got like my first 100K and I was like, Dad, I have 100K on TikTok. And before I say this though, my dad's the most supporting man ever. Like when I needed t-shirts, I was like, my t-shirts cost $900. He handed it straight to me. Like he will literally support anything I do. But there was like, I was like, Dad, I have 100K. He's like, everyone has 100K on TikTok. Like, that's hard. And I was like, dang, okay. I was like, Dad, I have 1 mil, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, okay. And then it was like we were moving and we went into a Walmart and some girl was like, excuse me, my daughter wants to take a picture with you. Like she's a huge fan, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And that's kind of like when it opened. And my dad was like, what the heck? Because I remember he called all my family. He's like, somebody just took a picture with Kayla. Like we're just at Walmart and they're taking a picture with her. And then like shortly after that, I got like booked for a few like trampoline events and stuff. And then he's sitting there like collecting flyers and like keeping them to hang up on the wall and stuff like that. And I think that's like when it hit for him, and he was like, okay, yeah, she's going somewhere, she's doing something. And he now understands, because he used to be mad when I'm like, I'm working, dad, like don't interrupt me, I'm making videos. Like he used to take it as a joke, but like now he understands. And
he was dead serious.
yeah. And as far from my city, I was born in Miami, but I moved, like I spent most of my high school in Port St. Lucie, where I'm located at now. And I've always gotten hate from my city. Like I don't know why, and it's the most frustrating thing, and it like literally like blows my mind like how much hate I get only from this city. And I think it's just the fact that like we were in the same position, you know, like imagine like you're just sitting next to this girl in high school, and like now look at her. So it's like
all your answers for the test.
I took your answers and I blew up. I really don't know. Like there's always so much like little chitter chatter in the town, and so much like drama and stuff like that. And like literally like I deleted the app Twitter because like it was just so toxic, and it was only Port St. Lucie. Like my friends would send me like tweets, and it's like the whole entire Port St. Lucie just like coming up and like talking about me and my boyfriend and this and that. And then I would be like, is it Port St. Lucie? Like, is that the only people that talk about me? They'd be like, yeah, I'm a WQ one, then I'm not worrying about it, you know, because it's just always this city. Like, I don't know why they just can't support anyone, but
it be like that sometimes, you know, but they say if you got haters, you know, you're doing something right.
Exactly. And that's how I take it. Like, I remember one time I was just, I'm not even gonna say it.
It's all good. You don't have to put nobody on blast. They know who they are. They know what they did.
I don't know.
But nah, I gotta say, I think what you and your mans is doing is incredible. And like y'all put it together so well that it's seamless. And like the fact that it's not something that everybody is like got their hands in, but it's really just something y'all got locked down and is organic is really dope. And you going about it all right.
Mm-hmm.
So you already know the vibes. I had to support and like chop it up with you today because I think people need to know how awesome you are outside of these 60, 50-second, whatever videos. You know?
Yeah, no, for sure. And let me give it to Mike too, because he's literally like the best person ever. Like when I tell you, since the moment I first met him, like just on some cool shit. Like people are probably like, this girl has her boyfriend and she's talking about this man like this. But like he's literally the coolest person ever. Like always been supportive. Like when I need something, like I could go to him and trust him with anything. Like literally always helping me out when it comes to anything. Like we'll chop it up on hours on the phone, and he'll just be straight teaching me things, you know. And I appreciate friends like that you could benefit like that off of, you know.
Nah, all love, bro. It's a pleasure to be your friend, honestly, and I appreciate all the support. And anybody that's watching this, make sure y'all follow her at Kayla Thayla everywhere. What do you got coming up? Do you have like any plans, anything like extravagant happening? Like I know a lot of the events is on hold, but like what can people look forward to, if anything?
Let me think. Hold up.
I know the merch is sold out.
Actually, I have like 40 shirts or something.
Ooh, all right.
So if y'all want some merch, you can jump on that. I have my website. My website is up. There's a few things on sale there. We are getting, like he said, a lot of the companies are shut down right now as far as bookings and stuff, but we are still in contact with them. So we are like contacting places such as like Las Vegas and stuff like that. So you'll definitely see me like outside of Florida too, because I know a lot of people are always like, when are you coming here? So we're definitely working on that. I'm trying to get my YouTube to where I'm posting consistently, because I get so many like people always like post on YouTube. So definitely look forward to that. Yeah, just look forward to growing with me. That's all I can say. Look forward to growing with me, because, you know, like I said, I'm new to this. Like, all you guys are new to me.
Kayla Thayla, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, darling.